Shalom, my dear friends. Today I'm excited to tell you a beautiful story. For the last 40 years, on an annual basis, Rabbi Eliezer Klitnik has been visiting my house to seek donations for Karlin Stolen Yeshiva. He's a fundraiser for them. And he makes an appointment, and he always tells me a beautiful Dvar Torah. Now he's a man in his mid-90s, but he's still full of exuberance and vitality. So he told me the following story. He said that he one of the people who he would visit in Cleveland, Ohio, it was a Dr. Haley. Dr. Haley told him once that he's planning to retire. He wants to sit and learn the whole day. He's going to move to Eretz Yisrael and become a Talmud Chacham. So Rabbi Klitnik said, I suggest that you get a bracha from Rabbi Wilson, who was the Mashgiach Torah Das, a great tzaddik who just passed away. So he went to Rabbi Wilson. Rabbi Wilson said, you must go to the Square Rebbe. So he went to the Square Rebbe, and the Square Rebbe said, Dr. Haley told him, he's a cardiologist, very accomplished, I don't agree to your plan, because if God gave you talents, you have to continue to utilize it, because that's part of your mission in life. Everybody has a mission, and if you have the ability to be an outstanding cardiologist, then and to assist people, it's not only a way of earning money and having financial security, but it's a way of doing chesed. So if you have that talent, you have to continue utilizing it. At least part of the day, you have to continue practicing cardiology. And I thought that this is such a powerful idea, because this idea that we all have a mission, it's something I've talked about many times. I heard years ago, 45 years ago, Rav Shner Katos Zatzal, every Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, when he used to speak in the yeshiva in Lakewood, he would quote, 50 years ago I heard it from him, he would quote his father, Rav Aaron Katos Zatzal, who said, it says in the Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah davening, Ma'isa Ishu Fkudaso, God judges the deeds of man and his pekuda on the Yom Noraim. A pekuda, it's like the word tafkid, means an assignment or a purpose. What is our purpose in life? God judges a man. First of all, he judges Ma'isa Ish, the deeds of man. What is it that you did this year? Did you fulfill the mitzvahs properly? Did you follow the laws of Shulchan Aruch? When you washed Netilas Yadayim, did you do it the right way? That's Ma'isa Ish. But a person can do everything according to the letter of the law, but still miss the boat, because there's also a tafkid. That's the bigger picture. That's the forest for the tree with the trees. You have to have fulfill your tafkid, and God examines every person to see if he not only did Ma'isa Ish, but also did he do Pukudaso. And I've often wondered, how does a person, we say we all have a tafkid. How does a person know what their tafkid is? In fact, this idea that we all have a tafkid, I was thinking in this week's parsha, the word tafkid appears with two different meanings in this week's parsha. First, it talks about Moshe Rabbeinu said, Yifkod Hashem Elkei Ruchos Ishal Eida. Moshe said, I want you to, Yifkod, the same word, tafkid, Yifkod, you should appoint somebody to give that person a mission, to be the leader of Klal Yisrael, because Moshe knew he was close to the end of his life. And then in another place in the parsha, it talks about the census that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to perform. And census is accounting. The word for counting is also tafkid, pekuda. Yifkod, he had to count every single person in Klal Yisrael. And I was thinking, the two words, the two meanings, it's a homonym, the two meanings of counting and mission are linked together, because the reason why it's important to count everybody is because everybody has their own tafkid. In the parsha it says, Eilu Pekudei B'nai Yisrael. This is the counting of the Jewish people. The total census was that there were 600,730 people among the Jewish people. So the plain meaning of Eilu Pekudei is this is the accounting. This is how many people there were. But I would say it has a dual meaning. Eilu Pekudei means these are the assignments. These are the pekudas. These are the tafkid. Every single Jew has a different tafkid. So if there's 600,730 Jews, there's no redundancy. There's nobody that's insignificant. There's nobody that's not important, because everybody is different. There's no two people that have the same personality, the same strengths, and the same ability, and the same talents. So every single person has his own tafkid. So there's 600,000 tafkidim. That's Eilu Pekudei B'nai Yisrael. This is the assignments of the Jewish people, the commissions of the Jewish people are commissioned to do these things. Sheish Me'osel, 600,000 Jews. That's how many assignments there were for the Jewish people. So everybody has his own assignment in life. But how do you know? We're not Nevi'im, we don't have Ruach HaKodesh. How are you supposed to figure out what your assignment is? So the Square Rebbe is shedding light on that. And that he's saying is that if a person has talents and he's using those talents can be used always for religious things. If a person is very organized, so he could use the organizational skills to master an area of Torah, and he could become an expert in halacha if he's organized, or a person has a good memory, or a person is insightful, so when he learns Torah, he could use that insight to understand the Torah better. But in addition, the Rebbe is saying is that we all have professions, and in every profession, we're paid for providing services to people. And that is a chesed. It's not only a way to earn money, but it's a way to do chesed. And if we use that part, every person's mission, it's something that this is now, you don't have to be a Navi to know what my tafkid is. Part of my tafkid is that I have to perform my profession in a way that I benefit the people who are my clients, the people who come to me for my assistance, that I help them in the best way I can, and that my intention is not only just to make a salary. You're allowed to make a salary, but with the intention to do chesed in the best way possible. And this idea that the Rebbe expressed is really reflected in a famous medrash that says, "Vayishalo Chanoch es Elokim." Chanoch followed in the footsteps of God. Chanoch was one of the great grandsons of Adam Harishon. And Chazal say, what does it mean that he followed in the footsteps? So he says that Al Kol Tfira, every time he stitched, he was a shoemaker, and every time he put his needle in and he stitched the shoes, he was miyachid yichudim. He unified divine unifications. That is like very esoteric. It's a mystical expression. When you study Kabbalah, you talk about being miyachid yichudim. So Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, it's quoted by the Michtav Le'el, by Rabbi Le'el Desser, in classic Rabbi Yisrael Salanter says that it can't mean, when the Medrash says he was miyachid yichudim, it can't mean that he was floating, that he was thinking about mystical things. He was floating around the upper spheres of the clouds with the malachim. That's not what it means. He says it means that when he's stitching the shoes, his intention was to be the best shoemaker possible, because he's helping people, he's making shoes for people, and that's how he was the miyachid yichudim. That's how he was unifying the divine unification, is by emulating a Kadosh Baruch Hu and doing the best job possible as a shoemaker. So it's not only a cardiology who could be, his tafkid is to serve Hashem by practicing terrific medicine, but it's even a shoemaker. No matter what a person's field is, a person could be miyachid yichudim. He could be unifying the name of a Kadosh Baruch Hu if he's doing it in order to do chesed, to help other people. And that's something we could take that to the bank. What's my tafkid in life? What am I supposed to be doing? Well, one thing that everybody can know is, I'm in a profession. I have to try my best to be the best that I can in my profession in order to help the people. The Gemara talks about, there was one of the Tanoim, it's quoted in Pirkei Avos, Rav Yochanan Sandler, Rav Yochanan, who was a shoemaker. Why in the world do we need to know that Rav Yochanan was a shoemaker? What does that mean? He was a brilliant Talmid Chacham. I have to know he's a shoemaker? It's the same answer, because just like Chanoch, when he sewed shoes, he did it in order to be the best pair of shoes possible. That's what Rav Yochanan Sandler did also. When he was making shoes, he was thinking about the people. He was thinking about the little children that are coming to him. He was thinking about the men and the women and the elder, everybody that was going to use his shoes. And he wanted to be the best shoes possible. And that's how he fulfilled his talent and his mission in life. I thought of a new explanation, and something that's always perplexing. In 2 weeks ago, we read Parashas Balak, the story of Bilam, and it's almost a comical story about Bilam. He was traveling with his donkey, and there was an angel that wanted to kill Bilam because he was going to curse the Jewish people, and the donkey saw the angel, and Bilam didn't see the angel. So the donkey kept on veering off the road 3 times, and Bilam got furious, and he was hitting his donkey and whacking the donkey, and finally, Vayiftach Hashem es piyos, and God opens the mouth of the donkey, and the donkey talks to Bilam. The first time in human history that a donkey is able to talk to a person, and they have a conversation. So the donkey says to Bilam, Lama Kisani, what are you hitting me for? Hey, what's going on here? Why are you hitting me? So Bilam says, what do you mean, why am I hitting you? Because you humiliated me. I'm trying to I have a tremendous reputation as being a prophet, and I'm here with the heads of Midian and Moab, and they are so impressed with me, and I can't even control my donkey. So what did the donkey say to Bilam? I'm your donkey. You've been riding on me forever. Did I ever treat you in this way? Was I ever disloyal to you in this manner? And Bilam says, no, it's true. So, and then God opened his eyes and he saw that there was an angel standing there. So the question is, like, what was the purpose of God performing this miracle? That the donkey should be able to talk to Bilam? Why didn't God just let Bilam see the angel? Why did he arrange it that Bilam saw the angel, the donkey saw it, and then the donkey talked to Bilam, and they had a conversation about a dialogue about why are you hitting me? So I was thinking, because Bilam had a tremendous talent. He could have had an enormous impact in the world, in the non-Jewish world. He was a prophet. And the world is so full of corruption and so full of evil. And Bilam had the ability to turn everything around. You look at the Chafetz Chaim, he lived over 100 years ago, 150 years ago. He's still making an enormous impression on the Jewish world, where he taught about Lashon Hara, Rabbi Yisrael Salant, all the Gedolei Yisrael, the Tanoim and the Merah. A person could turn the world around. So Bilam was capable of doing the same thing, and it would have been an impression that could have lasted for generations. But instead, he blew it. He didn't that talent that God gave him to be a prophet. He didn't utilize it. So God said, you know what? Look at your donkey. The donkey, even a donkey has a tachlis. I created a donkey for a purpose. Why are there donkeys? So that people can have an animal on which to ride, and that the donkey could schlep your load. And your donkey fulfilled his tachlis, his mission, and you're a human being, and you're smart, and you're an intellectual, and you're a prophet on top of everything else. And even your donkey fulfills its mission better than you did. And that's what the donkey gave Musar to Bilam. And the donkey said, for your whole life, I've been a loyal donkey. I fulfilled my mission. Did I ever fail you? And you're a great prophet, and you're not able. The donkey can do what he's supposed to do, but you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in life. So I think that's a terrific lesson that I learned from this story of this with the Spinker Rebbe, the Square Rebbe, that we all have a tafkid. And it's hard to know exactly what our tafkid is. That we have religious tafkidim. It's hard to know what I often think about. I'm in a religious profession. I was a rabbi, but maybe there were missions that I didn't fulfill. I don't know. It's hard to know. But one thing that a person can know for sure is that if we have a talent, that's part of our tafkid, that we have to utilize that talent to the best of our ability. Even if there's nothing, I shouldn't say even if you're a shoemaker, because there's nothing wrong. The shoemakers are doing tremendous chesed. They're making shoes for thousands of people. It's a wonderful profession. So a shoemaker, his tafkid is to sew shoes with the intention that I want it to be the best shoes possible for the people that are going to wear them. And that's something that all of us are capable of thinking about, that whatever field we're in, until we retire and we move to Eretz Yisrael, we sit and learn all day. But until then, whatever field we're in, it's not just a way of earning a livelihood, but it's a way of doing chesed and in emulating a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Hanoch walked in the path of Hashem. How did he walk in the path of Hashem? By being the best shoemaker that he could be. That way, he followed the footsteps of Hashem, who does chesed day and night with all of humanity, and even with the animal kingdom. So we all have the ability, that we all have our own individual mission. There's 600,000 Jews, 600,000 different missions. We all have a unique mission, but the way to fulfill that mission is think about the talents that we have and utilize them for the benefit of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and for the benefit of all of Klal Yisrael. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful Shabbos.